Hello. Okay, I think we should be live. Slight delay here. I think we were having a few tech issues, and I think some other stuff was going on. But we should be back on schedule. I believe draft is maybe happening right now, so I won't have too much time to kind of talk about things before we're getting into it. But this is a series between Spectres and the New York Nutbusters. Spectres has chosen the red side. They chose. Yeah, Spectres shows red side. My assets didn't work. So give me a hot second to fix that, but looks like everything is back on track. These rosters are correct. They're just on the wrong side, to be clear. So we are going to see Dave, Dominic, Mike, Will, and Michaela versus Avery, Cesarius, Gruer, Bean, and Honan. And now we are getting into draft. Just want to be clear, things are on the wrong side right now, so give me a second to get them flipped back around to where we want them to be. We should be good now. I'm expecting to see a Katarina ban. The Rengar taken away from Mike makes a lot of sense as well. Probably going to see Twitch taken away as well. I think the good prep would maybe be something like that. But you could also know that Dominic is probably going to stay in the mid lane. Nutbuster's probably not looking to do a flex here. The Echo is being banned away from Gruer. We also saw the Thresh taken away from Honan. That's signature champions from both of those off the board. So nothing super surprising there. But yeah, okay, the Katarina ban is coming out, even though Dave is probably on the top side. I think that probably still makes sense. He's able to kind of take over a game with it. So don't see any reason to not do that. Riven is banned away from Avery as well. I think that's a decent ban. You're leaving Cesarius' jungle pool completely untouched, but you do have a pretty good jungle in your team. Twitch is available. I don't see a world where they don't just first pick that. Kindred is banned away as well from the side of Spectres. And we are just waiting on this first pick right here. It is Twitch, and we get the Lily on the other side. None of this is very surprising. Will actually isn't grabbing the Jinx here. I'm not sure if he's aware that she has Turbo OP on the patch. That is something that we could keep in mind here. Will's Jinx, I would say infamous. I don't think he's bad at the champion. I think he's played very well, but I wouldn't say the joke, but it tends to lose a lot. I don't think it's necessarily his fault in most of those games, but the win rate does not look super good. So maybe he's avoiding it intentionally, or maybe he just wasn't aware of the patch. I'm not sure, but picking up the Twitch is a pretty good way to win regardless. We are seeing the Nami come out from Michaela here. Makes sense. I'm not like a huge fan of Twitch Nami as a combo, but Nami does seem to be in a pretty good spot right now. And the Ahri coming out from Dominic, this is not a big surprise. I think if Spectres had scouted this properly, this is pretty straightforward. So we'll see if that was what they were looking for or not. Syndra is a pretty good matchup into the Ahri, so I'm not super surprised by it. Nautilus is coming through. They're keeping Honan on a hook champion, even though it's not the Thresh. Shaco's banned away. I know Mike has been playing that a little bit. Not anything crazy, but it is a frustrating champion, so I think it makes sense to get rid of it. Could be frustrating for the Lilia specifically in the matchup. I'm not entirely sure. Renekton is being banned away from Avery. I'm not super sure about that. You definitely want the Darius and the Oslo taken care of as well. Kha'Zix is coming through against Mike. Now the Darius comes through. So the big concern for Avery in the top lane is still the Yasuo. The Nautilus is up to facilitate it, as well as the Syndra. He's probably going to end up locking it in if he likes his matchup going on the other side. And Misfortune for Bean. This isn't terribly surprising. Again, Bean has played, I believe, nothing but Misfortune in the ADC role. So this is pretty on brand for them to grab this one up. And Samira top. It's not just Adam who can play it. Dave is grabbing the Samira top here. Interesting stuff. It is just being blind picked. Not sure how I feel about that. And it's Avery. I think there's a lot of top laners where you might be able to get away with it and they just be frustrated. But Avery has very solid hands. He's going to make, gonna make him pay. And the Evelyn gets locked in. This draft is completely crazy. Seeing a lot of new picks come out here. We're looking for this R5 pick. You could probably still just go the Yasuo here if I'm being honest. But you're looking for something that does well into range tops. The Aatrox probably not a bad pickup here if he's looking to play it. Maybe the Tryndamere because it's funny. It is going to be the Aatrox though. I'll give myself credit for that one. Ornn duty. Well, Avery on Ornn. Tale as old as time, or Tale as old as season 5, I guess is the meme here. The weak side detainee name is no longer on the table, but that's likely where he's going to be this game. They're simply going to deal with the Samira by not engaging with it, which, it's a strategy. I would have preferred to see Avery just hard ego the Samira top, the Aatrox. I got really excited when I saw that, so I was pretty sure it was going through. But, shit happens. And this is going to be the matchup we're going to see. Hopefully someone can grab me an invite and I can get in here. Yep, okay. Looks like we're going to be good. But yeah, I think this draft is like pretty much what we could have expected. I mean, obviously, like Mike and Dave's champions are like a black box. So I probably wouldn't have specifically said these particular champions, but the same concept is generally what we're going for. This is a super standard Spectres draft. They are not innovating at all, which I really don't think you need to, especially when you're playing with a sub roster. You just want to go with what's comfortable for the rest of your map and make sure the subs are on comfort as well. But yeah, Nutbusters going crazy as usual. I think they could be cooking here. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll have to check how this game goes. I think either team could definitely find a way to win. New York Nutbusters, if those ADCs and the Evelyn get fed, it's going to be really hard for Spectres to come back in the game. We've seen them lose games like that before, but I don't know. I think this one, the Spectres comp is just really solid. It's going to be hard to snowball over them. Okay, I should have our updated numbers to look at real quick here. Not sure it didn't get replaced, the schedule. I think it's not been downloading every file recently. There might be a limit, so might have to redo how we're doing stuff, depending, or maybe I'm just not being patient enough. Anyway, the lobby is set. Looks like we're just waiting for someone to join. Okay, I'll adjust my audio levels. I hope the music wasn't too loud for a sec just there. Was trying to keep it listenable while also being able to hear my voice, and I'm not sure if I accomplished that. But looking into the player highlights, we can kind of go over some stuff we missed earlier. Gruber is going to be that featured player for Spectres. I don't think that's super surprising. He's usually the player that people are looking at, although Starburst has been picking up a lot of MVPs recently, so I think it could be a close race between those two. He's played 44 games with a 60% win rate, basically. A 4.62 KD, very solid, and has played 20 different champions across those games. His most played ones are a bunch of these, like, I'd say more exciting mages in the mid lane. Xerath being a bit of an exception. I think it's a really cool champion because it doesn't get played much at a high level, but we see it a lot in our server just because of our specific meta. And then Taliyah and Syndra are very exciting. You're looking to just CC people down and one-shot them. And then Silas and Echo are very mobile, which makes them pretty interesting. The champions to watch. Bean has apparently been 2-0 on this Nyla pick. I missed these games, so my bad. I was not aware of it. You know, the Shaq meme, I apologize, was not familiar with this part of his game. He's also played some Ashe, Jhin, and Kai'Sa, but Misfortune is a standout champion. He's 5-2, or he's 3-2 on the pick. Although he hasn't lost on any of the other ADCs except the Ashe. But anyway, he's not picking it up. Which I actually am kind of disappointed about. Neela is really good to Twitch, and I've been catching a lot of bans into Twitch players with that champion. So I do think it's a bit interesting that that wasn't locked in, but I guess they're just not as practiced fighting with a shorter range ADC, and keeping that comfort alive is important, as I discussed earlier. Honen's Thresh got banned. Gruber locked in his Syndra, which is really exciting. He's 5-1 on the pick, 5.00 KDA. Dominic locked in his mid lane champion as well. He's played a lot of Ahri, so keeping comfort there. And Will and Michaela actually do have the Twitch Nami highlighted for them, so the entire mid lane and bot lane of New York Nutbusters is on their most comfortable champions in the mid lane. Cesarius does not offer the Diana here, and we saw Avery Asterius banned away. And Dave and Mike will kind of play whatever. Moving on to the key matchup, it is going to be Mike versus Cesarius. We saw a lot of bans thrown that direction from the side of the Spectres. They know that that matchup is really important. Feels like New York Nutbusters just kind of said, we'll give Cesarius whatever, and kind of egoed it a bit, so we'll see if they have to pay for that. Looks like Cesarius has played a lot of his typical champions versus the Nutbusters, but actually did not get the chance to play his most played in the Lilia. But historically versus Mike, Cesarius has performed very highly. I'm not sure if this would include anything last season, but I'm pretty sure this is just some signups getting factored in here. The key player for the other team is Dave. That's not super surprising. We do have a lot of assassins here, then an Ashe, then a Brand. He's played 165 games, sitting at about a 49.7% win rate. His KD, 2.77. He's played 55 champions, so about 3 games on each of the champions, although we will see a lot of games on these top champions. But moving on to the champions that they actually selected for this game, the champ matchups are what we want to look at first. A lot of these champions have not played into each other. That's because we have some unconventional stuff going on here. I'm surprised that we don't have anything for Twitch versus Misfortune. I feel like those champions are both pretty prevalent, so them having not played into each other is a bit surprising. Seems like there's a bit of delay getting in game, but I digress. Ahri and Syndra, another one I'm surprised that we haven't seen, but you know, Lilia versus Evelyn and Samir versus Ornn, I'm not terribly surprised about. Nami versus Nautilus seems pretty even. The Nami player's better KDA. That's just because Nautilus dies a lot, I feel like. But we'll see. Past performance, Dave has played Smear once, did not go super great, but didn't go really poorly either. Good looking KDA there. Avery 3-3 on the Ornn is gonna have to flip the even matchup in one way or the other. Same with Cesare is 4-4 on the Lilia. Gruer is looking to keep up his really good stats with the Syndra here, and same with Bean, looking to embellish this Misfortune statistics a bit more. And Honen's actually not picked Nautilus before. Good read on the champion being really strong, so it makes sense that they're picking it here, but just not something he's really messed with before. Mike, first timing Evelynn in the server, I think there's a lot of stuff that could be done here, but we'll have to see how that goes. Champion has performed maybe good, maybe bad in scrims. Dave actually plays it a lot, so there's a possibility that that flex is going on there, but I really do doubt it. I think Dave is probably going to be on the Samira top. Bit of an homage to Adam, who's not in this game. Then Will and Michaela, I don't really need to say much. These are two of their best champions, so getting to see them again is not very surprising at all. Season records, Evelynn performing a little bit under, same with Ari. Twitch performing a bit over, same with the Syndra. A lot of this is just because we have a lot of Twitch one trick, so it's going to perform pretty well. Everything else, pretty even, not much to talk about there. The Ari has definitely been struggling. The player matchups, the only people who have actually faced off on each other before is Dominic did play into Gruer the last time these two teams met. Gruer came out with a huge advantage off of that one game. Then I believe there was a role swap that occurred. And then Cesarius and Mike were the only other ones that matched up, and then everyone else is in a different role or is subbing a bit. Looks like it might actually be Twitch top in the Nami bot lane, which could be pretty interesting. Which would make me wrong about a few things, but we'll have to see if that solidifies. And then everyone in the bot lane for Spectres is a sub, so we're not going to have seen these matchups before. Overall records, Ari and Evelynn have been doing better in the past compared to their season records, so we'll see if that's just how the meta shifted or if it's just the wrong people were playing the champions. Yeah, let me actually boot these back up and we'll get the right champion showing and see what we can do there. If it is going to be this Twitch top, it's possible it was just a mistake loading into the game, but who knows? Could be something that they've kind of engineered. I did mention earlier that Cesarius had not gotten a chance to play Lily against Mike, and he is getting that chance now, so most of his top champions he will have played against Mike now, so we'll just get to see how he kind of measures up on those picks. Looking forward to the matchup for sure. It's hard to know what to expect. Past performance is not going to be affected on anything. The only thing that would change is the champion matchups, which actually do. Samira does not actually have a winning record in Misfortune, which is a bit surprising. I think she's supposed to counter her. But I also just don't think you're not blocking the entire ultimate with the windmill. And usually Misfortune is paired with support that makes Samira's life a living nightmare. Which, yeah. This is a pretty rough Samira spot. You have Nautilus who can cancel your ult in like 3 different ways. Syndra can cancel your ulti. Lilia can cancel your ulti. And then Ornn also has like a bajillion ways to take care of it. But you can win well the Ornn ult, which I guess is kind of cool. But then you aren't using it for Misfortune, which is kind of the purpose of the pick. So we'll have to see how this lane swap goes for them. I think Will on Twitch versus Avery on Ornn is not the matchup people were expecting going into this series, but let's see if Nutbusters is able to get something done. Yeah, we do have just a few seconds left before we're getting into game. The Greer fan club sign-in is back up on the board. If you are interested in it, let's do a prediction. Actually, I'll give us a minute. We do have Spectres and New York Nutbusters. We'll do 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Prediction is up on the board. I'll try my best to remember to actually finish this, but your mileage may vary. I might completely forget. Yeah, it's Stanley complaining about how doesn't Stanley have. Stanley has Prime Gaming. I'm not sure if he has the Prime sub. Stanley, I propose you a trade offer. If you Prime sub to Scrim Zone LOL on Twitch, you will receive no ads. Also, the obligatory, there's ads because that way people can join during the game and they won't have to watch ads, and you actually aren't missing anything during the little stall leading up to the game. Well, we are hopping into game now, so excited to see what happens here. Twitch level 1 can be pretty interesting. He is just going for the lethal tempo here. Both ADCs starting the same items, but yeah, this is definitely going to be the Twitch going into the top lane, which is pretty interesting. Spectres is running up, grouped up as 5. They're looking for a playthrough mid, but no one's there. It could mean that they're able to get deeper in, but now they're going to spot out the Ahri. Changing track, and looks like they've just kind of given up. They know they've been spotted out. And now the Twitch and the Evelyn are pinging out towards this red buff, which is pretty predictable, so Spectres should send a few over there to cover it. Looks like there's a ward, and they're just hiding in the bush. There's a few of them walking up. Gruer is leading the way. Is not spotted out on a ward yet, but now it's Avery and Caesarius are wrapping around. And Caesarius is going to be in a bit of a bad spot here. And there they go. A lot of damage coming out immediately. The electrocute from the Evelyn procced. And the flash comes out. First blood going over to Mike on the Evelyn. And they're just going to be able to take away this red. I'm not sure if Ornn can really contest them. They're not able to clear the ward, but now Gruer's here. We're actually fighting over the buff instead of going to lane. Bean and Honan have showed up back in the lane. Mike's now falling down super low. I don't think there's a world where he gets out. And now with a weak side police, Avery in the top lane has taken this out. The ghost is now popped from the Twitch. The lead that Mike got just kind of vanished instantly. Was not able to win the fight as they predicted. I think so much of their power was just because of the stealth and the cleanse forced out from Dave in the bot lane. And now Will has to flash. Caesarius trades flashes with him and has already picked up the red buff. Putting him off to a pretty good start. I'm not sure he's going to look to maybe leverage this to steal something away on the map, but looks like he's not going to, and it's just going to go back to his jungle and take the 1 camp lead. Kill going over to Avery in this match is going to be nice because he can just build an item in lane and keep himself alive. Honan just grabs a kill. Let's go back and make sure we can catch this one. They did just blow the cleanse from our perspective here. Then Honan gets the root. And Dave just walks in a little bit aggressively, gets ignited. And now Mimi is getting slowed down here, but I don't think there's going to be a kill to be found. Yeah, it looked like Dave was just positioning a bit aggressively after having that summoner spell blown already. And then when he was trying to get out, he ended up just going farther back in. Thought he might hit the level 2 and be able to dash out through the Nautilus, but did not happen. Honan was the one picking up the kill, so it's not super doomed for New York Nutbusters, but that buy for Dave is just the refill bot. I'm not going for anything else there. And now we are seeing a lane gank, possibly from Caesarius. But he is just going to get spotted up by that ward, I assume. Now the fight is breaking out. Avery flashes for it, and the snowball is just going to do enough damage. The slow comes through, and that's a second kill for Avery. Weak side police, my ass. This guy is getting strong side of this game. Cesarius sees that his bot lane is winning on his own, and maybe it's just cold justice for that play on the red buff, but regardless of the reasoning, another kill comes out towards top side, and Will is just running up mid. He's probably just going to stealth and look for this play. Does come out there, but Brewer might just get the solo kill. But now the Twitch is visible. Getting some damage down, but Cesarius is here to match him. So no play there. I think there could have been something there if Dominic had not gotten poked down, because then you can see like a flash ignite Q or something to try and get enough damage, but Brewer just trading really well into his laner, which is kind of stifling the play. Lots of emote spam coming out from Dave here. He is enjoying Slam with the champion. Now he goes in, is just getting locked up, has the fully stacked passive, but that doesn't really do anything for you before you get the ulti. They nerfed that a lot. And Bean is just going to get out even with the ignite on him. Hone is now falling low. Is getting a lot of damage in return, but Mike is able to just pick up a kill here. No Dark Seal for him, but he does pick up the Dorans. Keeping a good eye on the meta to know that that is the correct play there. The buffs to the Dorans items were huge. They really help get clear. Now some fighting coming out top. New York Nutbuzzers did actually come on top of that trade, but they might not come on top of this one. Dave almost getting the kill on Bean, but now Cesarius shows up, is not able to pick up the Nami immediately, but is looking back in for it. Bean gets some damage, but playing really well around the range and forces Dave to trade himself for these 2 kills. But now Dave's had a really huge advantage, and they weren't able to get the kill on the top side onto the Twitch, which does put the Nutbusters in a better position than they were before this whole play started. They're now up. They're now down only about half of the 1,000 gold instead of, I believe, the 1,500 it was before. I'm going to have to turn chat off if he does that again. That's really annoying. Some picks coming out top. They're aware that the Twitch is missing, not really sure where he's going to go. It looks like Will is just walking back top lane. Huge hook comes down directly onto Dave. The bubble comes out to stop the play, but good poke there. Being traded evenly onto the Nautilus and Samira, but Nami's going to be able to heal a lot of that back up. First drag is on the map. It is a Hexcheck Dragon, but no one has really gone for it yet. Play is slowing down a little bit. Hidiri, I think you can ping that many times because it's pre-made. I'm not really sure how the new system works, but Avery now going in, burns the ultimate, does tag Will there, so he should just have enough in the tank left to kill him. And that's a solo kill for Avery, showing why he is our top lane go-to. You do not mess with this guy. But yeah, he's looking good on the Ornn, showing that it's a good counter pick into the ADCs. Can generally be a pretty frustrating matchup, but Avery having a really good go of it. Brewer probably could have looked for a solo kill there if he wants to expend the ultimate, but he looks like he doesn't really care to. He just wants to keep the RE low, doesn't care as much about getting the kill. Mike is wrapping back around here, is getting that passive fully stacked. But the reinforcements are here from Cesarius, and that turn from the Nautilus gets so much damage down. Whole team dodges the snowball, means that Mike actually has to flash it in order to not die. Did not body block for him, and now it looks like there could be a play coming out here, but Brewer is maybe just going to go for the solo kill here, is ignited, but otherwise not getting much out of it, and now he just burns it. But now you've had to commit a flash to get that play. Could have just gone for it earlier, but regardless, really good play for Brewer. He makes sure the wave is in the most favorable state for him possible when he does get that kill off. And Cesarius with the counter gank actually securing the dragon for his team here. They are doing it on a ward, but I don't think the no ulti Samira has any chance of contesting this, especially considering the team she's into. It's really hard for her to play the game. He does show up anyway. It just immediately gets chain CC'd. Is looking to stack up. Is almost able to get a kill, but is Honen's just going to survive this, and now Mimi is going to fall as well. Double kill going over to the Misfortune, getting her back in this game. Both of these champions have a Dirk. Once Misfortune back, she's going to be sitting on a little bit more than that, maybe catching up the basically already purchased Collector in the hands of the Samira. But with the shorter death timers, Dave is back in the action very snappily. Was going for the greedy play. Possibly 900 gold for him looted there if he plays it correctly, but instead they gave over 600 to the enemy team, plus 50% tax for the assists. Some pings coming out there where the Evelynn is in the jungle now, but Avery's looking for another solo kill. Actually does not have the ult available to him, but now he does. He's just looking to use it. Flashes in for the empowered auto, and boom. Avery, too good on the Ornn. I wasn't excited about it, I'll be honest. I think if you play respectfully enough of the Ornn, stuff like this doesn't happen. But now Avery is just so far ahead. He has the Sunfire already purchased, and what do you know? It's doing quite well. It's basically just like the Aatrox of tanks at this point. And boom, they pick up another kill in the mid lane. This time, Cesarius is the benefactor. A lot of gold going into his pocket. The whole CC kit has kind of just been burned on toast, or he was blocking some of it, but the huge flash from Bean comes in to reduce his projectile travel time, and now Avery is just proxying. He should be able to get out here. Does take one tower shot, but I believe he's going to miss that plate. Really good play from Bean there. If you stay out of range, Honen is going to die, but Honen goes in, takes the tower shot, drops down super low. The ultimate comes out. Cesarius is in the area, but they have to be really greedy to go for this one. And the Evelynn's here. They do not know that. But they fall down low. They just assume they're going to get out. We'll see if Mike can get anything done there. They know that with the Nami walking up, the Evelynn probably is there. So they're able to walk out a little bit farther back. And that control ward probably would have also picked it up. But Dave coming, they're looking for a dive, but they actually all just got out. The timing on this was a little bit too slow. Evelynn might have showed there. She definitely did. Bings are coming out, and now Gruer is walking up, stacking his balls. Does have that ultimate available. The stun comes out, boom, and the ulti comes through. The heal from the camp actually kept the Evelynn alive. She's taking the blast gun over now. Really good attempt by Gruer. I thought the damage numbers were there, but the healing from the Gromp is what ended up saving him. Avery just walking up to proxy again. There's literally nothing that Twitch can do anymore. Twitch in the soul lanes is really good when he's able to oppress the entire game. And now the CC chain comes down. Kill goes over to Samira, exactly what you want. Trying to get a lot done with the wind wall, but just gets interrupted by the Nautilus. The E reset, I believe, is still available. Now Dave's going to be able to pick up one and is going to get the second one. Good ulti there. Huge cash out of the Samira. She just got like 2,000 gold from that play. Insane stuff. The Evelynn's there just to set her up. And now Gruer's top lane. They're not letting these guys go undisturbed, but the Ghost is able to get him out. Avery taking the tower like it's nothing. Already does have a completed armor item this early in the game. Only other champions with a completed item are the other Fed members of his team and the Samira. Who's actually basing right now. We're going to see a huge buy here. I'm interested to see if she goes for the IE or the Dustblade build. The IE build is a lot better in my opinion. The Dustblade does give you some invulnerability during the ultimate, but it looks like the IE is going to be picked up. I'm agreeing with this choice here, I think. Dave definitely pays enough attention to know what builds are good and what builds aren't. So that's good. But yeah, I think since the Twitch wasn't really able to dominate in lane, I think he's going to struggle to get much done here. I still probably would have preferred to see the Jinx in just a more straight up top lane, because obviously Samira is going very well, but we are losing a bit just in the way the top lane's going. Avery is probably going to fall here. The Evelynn ult comes out, and actually Twitch is out of mana, and Avery's going to be able to slow down the Evelynn. You could hope. Okay, the flash comes out. Evelynn really just wants this one and is going to pick it up. That's another huge shutdown, like multiple 800, 850 gold shutdowns coming out here. Gruer just looking for a one-shot, but gets caught out by the Ahri. Huge roam from Dominic, and Gruer's not able to pick up ate the words right out of my mouth there. Syndra's able to pick up 1. But that's not really the trade you're looking for when you're ahead. Now Caesarius is coming down bot lane. They are just going to murder Dave. He had the cleanse. The Nami bubble's really good. It just wasn't enough to save him. Caesarius ahead on the Lilia that he's so comfortable on. Making a good show of things here. And just a reminder of the stakes that are on this game. If New York Nutbusters loses a single series or MVP wins a single series, our playoff teams are locked. Not in the right order, but one of those 2 occurrences would lock MVP in 4th place. So New York Nutbusters is really looking for a win here today. They cooked, and we'll have to see if the food tastes good. But we're definitely seeing something interesting coming out here. Now Ornn is here just ulting onto Will. Maybe a little pissed about this Twitch being played into him. Is probably just able to get a solo on the top of the fight, and then the Syndra kill should be going over to someone. Looks like Honan was really trying to give it to Syndra, which is what you want to see, but unfortunately wasn't able to go down that way for him. And now the bot lane is rotating back up into the mid lane. Did go for a ward, so they should be pretty aware of it. And the hook goes on, huge engage, but a lot of damage coming down on the Nautilus. He's a little bit squishy here, but Gru is able to pick 1 kill up in return. The charm, not up, I don't think, so it's going to make it hard to hit it. But now we go, huge damage coming down there. Dom, really good play, but doesn't quite know his damage, so he doesn't use the last cast of the ulti to finish off the kill. It looked really good, but just wasn't entirely sure of his damage numbers. And Caesarius is going to benefit 2 kills off the back of that, and you don't get the Syndra shut down. But good play from good play from Dominic. Unfortunately, did not work. Bean just showed on my screen, which is why I got confused. But he is just taking the tower. Honan has Spellbook, so he actually TP'd down to the tower to steal some of the tower gold off the Misfortune. I would be pissed if it were me, but that is something that happened there. Not sure what other summoning spells he's taken this game, but Avery is walking up pretty aggressively here. Just assumes that there's going to be no one contesting him because they see the Evelynn on vision, which is a reasonable assumption. Evelynn desperately trying to defend this tower, but it goes over to Gruer, and now she gets rooted up. The knockdown comes back, and the unleashed power just comes, and boom. No more Evelynn on the map. That is 5 deaths for her. Syndra, really far ahead. Same with the Lilia. Things are not looking great. The charm comes out from Dom, is not able to hit it. Good stun from Gura, only able to find 1 though. But that poke with the E's, or the poke with the W is huge. And Bean is just sitting in the back, and now Will does get stunned up. That charm is huge though, and a lot of flashes come out there. The Drowsy lines things up really well, and the flash in from Ornn on the flank. That's a 4-for-1 trade there. This Nautilus is just dying because of how squishy he is. It looks like he's going for a Jack Show to maybe keep himself alive a bit longer, but they've just popped him before that was able to stack up. And Caesarius just doing so well here, and Avery super fed on the Ornn, and the Syndra is nothing you can scoff at either. Already kind of blew her load on the Evelynn earlier, so did not have the unleashed power for that fight, but she was still able to pick up a kill regardless. They're just pressuring this turret, but Dave goes in, is able to pick up 1. The ultimate comes down so strong, but the unleashed power did come back up, no longer down anymore, and they're able to just grab 2 kills in return. You bite off 1 head, and 2 more come back in their place. You know, kills. I think that one was weak. But anyway, looking good for Spectres here. They have not quite hit the 10k gold lead threshold, but they're rapidly approaching it. Ocean Dragon is going to be up in about a minute. Would put Spectres on soul point. Ocean is very good into poke, so you could argue that that might be better on the side of Nutbusters than it would be on Spectres, but regardless, you just want it. You have 2 uncontested dragons. Who is going to stop you from just continuing to stack them? Just looking at the gold, there is a 3,500 difference in the top lane. about the same, or actually only 2.5 in the jungle. Back to 3.5 in the mid lane, but Brewer is just going for this, has the Unleashed Power back up already, and just burns it. Wants to make sure he gets that kill, does not want a prolonged fight, which does mean that it's going to be down for the dragon, but you've already gotten your pick, so not the worst deal for you. And Avery has no clue where the Twitch is, so it's just going to make it hard for him to finish on that kill. Honan looks for the hook, isn't able to find it. Dave's looking like he's in trouble here, but is able to get the ulti off and immediately dies to Misfortune. And Misfortune grabs another kill. Avery just hell-bent on getting the Twitch here. Seems like he's not happy about the pick. If he flash autos here, he might have it. But no. Shutdown goes over to Mike on the Evelyn. They're able to stop the Ornn. But they lose the dragon for it. Isn't quite Soul. And now that 10k deficit is present. Hold on, just messing with some client settings. My bad. And now they are looking to just push this game towards bot. They know they're very far ahead, and the Misfortune is just going to chunk these waves. They have Syndra on the top, everyone else on the bottom. Now that Avery's up, he can choose which way to go. Looks like he's just going to walk up mid, see what they can get done. They're just going to farm their own jungle, make sure they secure these resources. Syndra taking a tower on the top side, does miss the scatter, but oh my god. One ability doing 60% of Dom's health, but now Brewer is getting rotated onto the Evelyn, looking to get the kill, isn't quite going to get it, but the Evelyn isn't getting it either. And now Brewer is able to pick it up. Dominic just going in super hard for that, but doesn't have the damage because of the deficit he's currently in. The Archangel's Shield saving Brewer there, almost undeniably. And yeah, I mean, they really had a chance of claiming the 1,000 gold there, and it just didn't quite work out for them. But you got to respect the attempt from Nutbusters. They knew what they were going for, and they really almost got it. Baron is falling down here. I don't think there's a huge way for you to stop this, but everyone is rotating. They're looking to contest this. Will is going to be stealth, so he could get something done. And Samira is looking for an initiation, but Ornn just puts him in the bouncy castle. And the Windwell comes to stop the Ornn ulti, but he positioned in a way that he was inside the entire team, so he actually doesn't get anything there. And that is a 3-for-0, which is the cherry on top of the Baron. Somehow that E did not hit Mike. You figure that one out. Outside of my pay grade. Double ultis coming down, just trying to take care of the Evelyn. They're now pushing in on the top side. Syndra's pushing in on the mid lane. The pings are coming out again. Pings are coming out from everyone. I have to just disable chat. It doesn't do anything. Can you guys stop? Like, okay. Okay, Dave is going in, gets the reset. But that's a lot of kills out there. They're but yeah, Spectres is just going to be able to pick up this game. Not super surprising past a certain point, but good stuff from Spectres there. The crazy draft shenanigans that Nutbusters pulled just simply didn't work, unfortunately. Looked like a good start to it, but just did not go their way overall. Looks like we are waiting a bit longer than usual for the next game. So the next draft will start at 9:35. Let me see if I can get the post-game screenshot. But, yeah, my bad. Closed the game by accident here. But we will be going into the next one. looks like the side select, New York Nutbusters are taking red side. I think that makes sense. They tried something in draft, didn't quite win, so why not swap the sides up and see what's happening. Okay, but we are hopping into the next game here. Or, you know, we're setting the stage for the next game. I think we're going to see that same key matchup there. Don't actually have any new information because I've not been able to get those stats in yet. But the adaptations I'm looking for in draft are maybe something more conventional. Nutbusters are not going for the blue side, but we could see like the Neela or the Jinx if the Spectres aren't taking it, because Jinx was up and available for both of these champions. So we didn't see it, but I don't know. Not sure what really could be doing better here. Anyway, we're into draft. Kind of saved me. I don't have to guess at what they're doing because they're just going to do it now and show me. And Katarina is being banned away right at the beginning. Not a huge adaptation here. Thresh is locked in as a ban. I think this is all pretty much as we saw before. We're expecting to see the Kindred banned as the third one if things stay on track. Not sure if that's actually going to happen or not. I wonder if Dave is going to swap down to the ADC role again. I would doubt it. I don't think that particular experiment worked very well. Echo being banned away as well. We could see the Syndra show up here. I wasn't a huge fan of the ban that they threw last time. I forget what it was, but I don't think it did a lot. I think it was a top laner. Yeah, it's the Riven. They're scared of the blind pick Riven at the beginning. I feel like Renekton is a really good counter to it, and I know Dave knows how to play it. They're just first picking Syndra. They don't care about Orianna. They don't care about Jinx. None of these patch OPs are particularly interesting to them. They're just going with the tried and true. Maybe they're thinking it could be stolen away. They really don't think the Ahri has a way of contesting the Syndra, which I think is a pretty good thought process from them. But yeah. And Soraka is coming through on the other side. I think this is one of Michaela's better champions as well. Now that the Nami didn't work out so well, we could just see the Twitch coming back out from the wheel, but probably in the ADC lane. But Jinx would be really cool. I'm hoping that one of these teams picks up Jinx. Champion is a bit funny, as we did see in that previous series. Jinx is able to just get resets and take over the entire map, but we are seeing Soraka Lulu instead. I'm not sure which of them Dave is playing in the top lane, or if Dave is playing one of them in the ADC role. Not entirely sure here, but I would guess Dave is on the other enchanter. Don't see any reason why this wouldn't just be the Lilia and the Nautilus again, unless they're bored. Honan going for the Xerath. I guess it makes sense. You're able to just poke these champions down, force Soraka to just burn a lot of her health. But they do have a lot of tools to kind of shield and heal away some of the poke coming out from Honan here, so Might not be the greatest matchup, but could just be pretty fun. This could definitely be Lilia, or maybe he just feels like he's already proved his Lilia, doesn't need to play it again. Or just worries about getting polyed, or something like that. Is going to be the Xinjiao, which is pretty interesting. We haven't seen a lot of it, and normally it does well with Enchanters, which you're not going to have any of your team for Spectres. It is a 5th support coming out here. Never mind, they're going for Briar. Looks like they're just trying to get the Briar as fed as possible. Is Yi instead? Okay, that kind of tracks more. I think Briar is a little less hard to control, but they are funneling Yi. Oh boy, this is a trip back to, like, you know, I wouldn't say the good old days, but the old days. Funnel Yi strats. Tarek being banned. They're nowheres. That's so funny. The interaction is actually not as good anymore. Tarek is not going to be able to facilitate that as well, but they know. They know. They're choosing to ban Misfortune over Jinx. Nope. Okay, they banned Jinx. That's smart. That's the correct move. I'm not sure if you need to ban Caitlyn there. I think the Misfortune and Jinx probably would have been better, but probably just going to see Bean back on the Misfortune. Maybe it's a bit of a bait. We could see something funny come out here. It is a Morgana. They are fully committing to this. I believe this is going to be Dominic on the Morgana no matter what. Not entirely sure where. The Yasuo comes out here, though. Going to be able to block those Morgana projectiles here, but isn't going to do much else. Sion is also locked in. Maybe this is Bean on Sion top and Yasuo Xerath bot lane. And Avery's playing bot? I'm really confused here. The Gwen, though, really good into the Sion. I actually feel like New York Nutbusters did a really good job drafting here. You have two incredibly strong frontline champions kind of paired up with these triple enchanters. I think you can get a lot done here. I actually do like the draft adaptation. I said that I didn't know what I wanted them to do, which is, you know, that's pretty accurate. But this is what I wanted. This is good stuff. I'm liking how this is looking coming out here. I'm not really sure who's going to play who, so we can just kind of stare at this until I have a better idea of how that's going. Looks like people are getting readied up. It is going to be Mim and Dave in the bot lane, looks like, and Will is playing top. Not really sure what's going on here. Roles are a bit funky. I would assume Dave would be the one playing the Gwen, but not entirely sure. These team comps are a bit interesting. I think this game is going to be exciting regardless. We have no ADC on the other team. That might actually be one of the things that can save you, but it's also possible that they just didn't want any ADCs into E, which I think is a valid concern. Champion is giga annoying. Maybe it's just Sion bot and I was overthinking it? Xerath Scion would be really interesting. I wonder which of the two would be farming? But I mean, you're into Soraka Lulu, so I don't really know how much you're pinched. Anyway, this is a bit of an interesting comp for sure. I don't think anyone saw this going into this game, but it's nothing if not exciting. So we'll have to see how that goes. There's a lot of early game strats you can do with Scion. I'm hoping we get to see some of them, just because it's not something you get to see often at all, especially at our level. So if they do have something prepared, that could be really funny. Not entirely sure if that is in the cards or not. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be Morgana bot, and then Soraka and Lulu in the support role. Yeah, I'm going to try and get as much info put down as I can so we can actually analyze this, but to be honest, I'm not sure there's much analysis to do. This is a very, very odd game. This is really just going to come down to how good Gwen and Master Yi's hands are. I think historically we have seen Dave go onto support in this team a lot, and it just feels like he needs to be more of a primary carry. And being put on an Enchantress just does not give him the agency that he needs to really take over games. But things go differently, and they're putting a lot of trust in Mike. So should be able to get that going. Yeah, we should be getting into the game. Only about 2 minutes left. I will choose the prediction outcome. No one predicted, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, looking at these champions, overall records, Xin Zhao has been struggling a bit. Morgana also not the most winning. But Yi and Gwen both doing very well. So just something to look at there. Champ matchups, we have not seen any of these matchups before, not surprising in the least. Past performance, Avery's 10-1 on Yasuo. What? Gruer is going to be 6-1 on the Syndra, not yet updated, and Honan has historically struggled. So will these players who have been succeeding on their champions be able to flip the tide, or how are we going? It could be interesting. Mimi 3-3 on the Lulu, and Dominic 4-8 on the Morg. Both pretty experienced on their champions, so we should see a lot of comfort from them coming out here. Season records, pretty much the same as what we were seeing before. Soraka doing a bit better recently, and Master just hasn't been picked much. And this is kind of all stuff we've seen before, except obviously account for the stuff this series. Spectator delay is ticking down. Yeah. Should be getting in the game any minute here. Just 20 seconds left on the spectator delay. Not really expecting to see any early game shenanigans besides a possible Scion play. You could just rotate the Scion somewhere. But we'll have to see. And we are getting on the Rift. Got the Snow Day Syndra, got the High Noon Yasuo. Avery's sitting on a casual 500,000 mastery. Honan at about 400k and lots of mastery for the other team. They did actually switch positions. It's going to be Michaela on the Soraka and Dave on the Lulu. It's my bad for missing that. But everything else is pretty much as expected. Yeah, lots of mastery going around on these champions. Everyone seems super comfortable, at least, which is good. Not so much on the Gwen and the Yi, but I think those are more mechanics-based than necessarily mastery on the champions. Knowing how to use Gwen's Hallowed Mist is pretty good, but other than that, I don't think there's any specific tech that's super necessary on either of these champions. Should be pretty straightforward.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And yeah, as expected, nothing in the early level. I really would have liked to see some Scion stuff, but the 5 point is doing a really good job at preventing that. But Scion's able to get a lot done to jungle camps early, which puts him in a pretty solid position. And you're kind of able to just warp the entire game around it. But he actually does have the TP, so they really could have pulled something off like that. The exhaust coming out here is pretty smart. I honestly might have preferred to see another exhaust coming up from Avery, just so you have 2 exhausts, 2 TPs, gives you 1 exhaust for each carry, or it just gives you basically permanent uptime on the exhaust, so you can just exhaust whoever's most fed in every fight. But they're not going for it, unfortunately. And the pause comes through, which means we get to use our food ordering border. If you work at a food delivery company and would like to sponsor us, please go ahead by any means. Grubhub, DoorDash, even Uber Eats, we will accept any sponsorship you give us. You get a lot of screen time like this. Anytime a game is paused, we will shamelessly shill for you, just like I'm doing here. But they cannot sue us for using their names and logo because we are disclaiming that we are not affiliated by them, and it is clearly parody, as stated up there. But anyway, if you want to see your competitor's name off our stream, please sponsor us. And we will actually talk about it. Talk about your product. But looks like we're back in the pause realm. I'll just throw a little backspace, but we'll see. Anyway, no Scion shenanigans. We are just seeing the leash come out from top lane. No sort of invade or anything going on here. Much more boring level 1. That works in New York Numbusters' favor, though, because they want to play this game super slowly. They do not want to get involved in any sorts of shenanigans. This game, if they lose it, they are out of playoffs contention. So they're just going to want to take it calm, relaxed, get as much farm onto the Yi and the Gwen as possible, and then work their way there. And Avery is looking to stop that from happening with his signature Yasuo top pick. And he is immediately trading off, gets Will down to half health, but cuts back down to bot, where I think the action might be. Lots of trading coming out, but Will is just getting choked out here. Misses the Q, but gets the Yasuo shield out with an auto. Trading coming out here, Zera's getting some poke, and the knockup comes down, but lots of damage coming down to the Scion, puts him in a tough position. Honen's a little overextended here. He might just get poked down, get some damage down onto Dave, not that much since this early game, and the Scion respawn takes almost just too long, but it's just a 1-for-1 at this point. First blood, I believe, going over to the Lulu, but Soraka's trying to make it out. Xerath does have mana left for an ability, but guesses wrong where the Soraka is, and it kind of goes down evenly. Yeah, the Scion was literally 1 auto away from picking it up. Stun's going out either direction. Zerius wasn't really looking for a gank, was just looking to get Pry walking across here. Scion is back, and I believe the Master Yi is just going to be able to secure this. Smite just coming out. Honen's actually in a really rough position, but he's able to get the long stun. Good distance on that. And now the Yi is looking to fight, but the Jhin does a lot early. Yi bouncing around, isn't going to be able to get much done. Does just get locked up there with the CC. Burns a flash after the fact. But 1 kill going back for the Nutbusters, but they're going to be able to pick up 3 for Spectres. And this is kind of the opposite of what we were looking to do. I think the Yi going for the Scuttle Crab there was fine, but He did end up getting caught out and couldn't return to his side of the jungle. They just kind of rotated and were looking to scrap, but you're not beating a Syndra Jinzhou early. Like, it's just not happening. The Scion and Xerath are there to support it as well, but not as impactful, I don't think. And Will, honestly, keeping it pretty even in CS, considering the experience Avery has on the Yasuo. We'll have to see if that keeps up, though. Good chunk going down onto Dave there from Bean. They're playing around this vision of the bush really well. Bean taking a lot of damage, has to burn the shield, trying to keep himself alive. The poly comes out. They're looking for this kill onto the Scion, but the grass proc comes out, and it looks like they're going to 1-for-1 again. This time, does the kill go over to Honan? Nope, they're giving it to the Scion. Seems like this is intentional. I don't know if the Scion's going for the lethality build or what is going on, but it's a bit of an interesting lane. Scion is just building up full tank. Honan trying his best to get the CS. Unfortunately, a lot of it does just crumble to the Shadow Realm, but neither of these bot lanes are farming very well at all. Guru is the only one sticking to any sort of realistic CS counter, and he did a whole row, which is kind of crazy. Avery looking to get something going here. Does dash out of this fully stacked Q, but taking a lot of damage. He's probably looking to get his Q stacked back up so he can look for the ulti. It is up, gets the ulti off, and I don't know if Will's going to be able to get out here. The flash would be required to pick up that kill. There we go. Flash auto comes down. Nothing happened in the bot lane. Avery did wait a little bit to commit the flash, so he has to take a tower shot, but no one's there, so it doesn't matter. Dave getting absolutely chunked here. The exhaust coming through. Scion not having any fun, but the counter exhaust comes back down onto the Soraka. They're both falling down pretty low, and Mimi is super fast because her lane partner is low health. And it looks like nothing's really going to come down here, but Lulu should just have enough damage to kill the Scion. He's trying to walk out, but Dave walks too far up and is going to fall there. Honan might have enough here, is able to get one ability down, but Michaela trading back the other way and is able to get a double kill. 4-in-1 on the Soraka. It looks like it's going to be an 80 carry type build coming out here. Does not want to have to rely on the Yi or the Gwen to get the damage out. It's just going to go ADC Soraka. You know, I gotta respect it. The lethal tempo is brought in. I didn't even see that. But that should have given it away. But more fighting coming out on the top side. Will able to dodge, but so is Avery. A lot of this damage is going into the wind, but now the Jinzhou is coming forward. Another ulti comes out from Avery, and Will is stuck in between the Yasuo and the jungler, but is able to pick up one in return. Really good there from Will, able to make the best out of the gank. Kill does go over to the jungler, though. Cesarius 3-0-1 on this pick. Getting some damage. Dom falling down to half health. The ulti is available, is not expended. Wants to really make sure he can get a kill with that first usage of the ulti, I'd imagine. Ping's coming down onto the Yi. They know he's there. I believe Cesarius did just steal his red buff. Honan looking for the stun. Is not able to find it, but the Scion's just going to shove in the wave. And Brewer gets the damage, and there we go! He's able to pick up the solo kill with the Unleashed Power at 8.5 minutes. Is now 2-0, and has been showing complete and total dominance on this pick. I think this is what makes Spectres so hard to fight. There's a lot of champions that must be banned. A lot of danger pings coming out towards Yi in the river. They see he might be going for that bot lane gank, but they just get out of there. Yi is going for an invade, but they're able to spot him out. Now Avery and Will are fighting on the top side. The Ghost comes out from Gwen, gets the knockup, and Avery getting a lot done here. just walks in, tanks the Q with the shield. And it looks like nothing really happened in the jungle. They're just able to scare the Yi away, but the Yi is down. He's not even level 6. Super important tool for Yi is not available. It's going to make it pretty hard. This bot lane does pretty much just have shove all the time, but it's swept out. Mike is sitting in the lane, but looks like they might see it coming, so it's going to be a 3v3. That ult comes down, hits the Soraka first, just chains these Caesar. Mike is getting as much done as possible, but as we discussed previously, does not have the ulti available to him, so he just doesn't have the damage to get anything done. Cesarius is looking for the knock-up here, does end up missing everything. So not much is going to come through. Bean is just walking right up the turret, does not care. They're trading this 1-for-1. They don't care if someone dies, and no one even has to. They juggle the aggro perfectly, and Spectres gets away with highway robbery here. Is able to pull out the 3-0 heist. Yeah, I don't know. Yi showed up, does not have level 6. Into the Xerath and Sion who do. Xin Zhao shows up with his ultimate, and you're in a bad spot. Lots of gold going down to Cesarius and Honan here. The stun gets thrown out backwards, cuts the Soraka down by half. Already has expended her ultimate. Lulu doesn't have an ulti either when she shows up. She's very far away, but now Yi's coming. The stun is going to land onto Honan, gets ignited, is going to fall. They're able to pick up the Morgana, but Yi's looking for stuff. He actually does have ulti now and is using it. The healing is coming out, and chanting is going to help this Yi a lot. Cesarius is falling down low. Sion's going to be able to trade it, but the kill isn't even gone to Yi. It's onto the Soraka, who is going for the Kraken Slayer first, I believe. Yeah, I think that play slightly helped the Nutbusters, but it's not what they're looking for sure. And Mimi just stays a bit too close to tower, but the shielding and healing is disgusting. I think she actually healed off the tower shot. Mike just gets caught out, and Avery is just going for the ultimate. That Yasuo is up 4 levels on him, has a 3-1 lead. Avery's basically just saying, hey, you're slamming the ribbon band, you should be worried about a different champion. Bean is now going in, putting himself in a bit of a risky situation, but he's just so tanky at this point. He already has 5 kills. He's able to tank up so much of this. Soraka's getting a lot done. The shield is out, and they're actually able to keep the Sion alive. Bean gets another kill. Honan was able to get one as well, and this unconventional bot lane from both sides is actually going hard in the favor of Spectres. Gruer looking like he was fishing for a kill here. This Morgana is really not doing as well as the Ahri was. Dominic looked super comfortable on that Ahri, even though he was struggling a little bit in the lane against one of our better mid laners. But this matchup just looks completely lost. I'm not really sure what he's able to do here. But Avery's pushing it in. He's probably just going to go for another proxy. He just figures he can kill whoever shows up to stop him, which I think is super fair. If I was Will, I would be super tired of this proxy farming by now. Gwen is even looking like she might be able to fight him, and Mike is pathing up that way, but he's spotted out on a control ward. So they're definitely aware of what's happening here. And Avery's actually just walking down into the jungle. Cesarius is here, took the Hex Gate over the wall, and Avery is actually just going for this kill under tower, forces out the immunity from Gwen, and Mike is just dropping down super low. If they don't hit him, they don't actually need to do anything. They can just wait out the Gwen ulti here, but now there's a fight breaking out top. Going to be a bit more interesting. Oh my gosh, the double E. Huge combo, and Syndra's able to pick it up on the other side. Zarius does just get hard rooted under tower, and nothing actually happened in the bot lane. Sion does have Heartsteel completed, is able to stack once off Michaela, but the Zerath falling down early is actually really good for the side of Nutbusters. We'll see if they're able to finish it off. The Soraka is dealing so much damage. The Kraken and Boots are already completed. Guru is able to pick up a kill onto Dominic on the other side of the map. Sion is looking to get away, does have ultimate available. If he can shield himself and get out, he will be fine. He doesn't even need to ult. He just walks it. Sion is so ridiculously tanky, and the steel caps are just preventing basically all of the Soraka's damage. They were able to just get a 1 for 0 there, but on the top side, that's another 3 for 0. Some of these fights are just going so well for the Spectres. Now Will can finally hit towers. Objective bounties are now available now that tower plates have fallen down. I'm not sure if Gwen's going to be able to get it. Xerath looking for the ulti here. Not enough damage. Spectres looking super dominant in this game. Their comp is a bit of a train wreck, does not have any sort of cohesive identity. It does not matter. Their comp is actually just, I fight you, I win, I don't care. Not super marketable, but, you know, it's working. Pitch the results, not the name, you know. Alright, Brewer is getting poked out a little bit by the Morgana. He just does so much damage. Does not have to ult there, but now Mike punishing Honan, who stepped up a bit too far, and Avery gets a kill on the top side of the map. We'll give it a watch. We'll go back, see what's going on. Dancing around, gets the knockup, hits the ulti. It's the same thing we've seen a bunch of other times before, and Avery's now 5-1-3. That's the play we saw earlier, and we should be back to where we were. Avery might just be able to grab this top tower. Yi is not really starting to come online. That's about what you'd want to be happening at this point in the game, but he is 0-5, does not even have the board completed. The Soraka is the most fed member of the team, has 7 kills, which is kind of ridiculous, and is not actually doing much damage at all. Dave does flash in front of the Sion to stop him, but gets that Heartsteel procced on him. The Soraka's down super low. Brewer just ults, gets rid of the problem immediately, and Sion's able to pick one up as well. It's a 2 for 0. 1 dragon apiece for these teams, and I think this game is just a bit of a foregone conclusion. Everyone on the side of Spectres is just too far ahead, and Yi and Gwen never even got off the ground. The sun comes out there, and Xerath ults to maybe finish it off, but Brewer's able to pick up the kill. The ult comes down under tower. Avery does not care. He's just dashing around like a maniac. He's building towards this IE. Does not have any sort of lifesteal in this kit right now, but they're just giving the kill over just these areas. And now they're looking for this mid lane tower. Sion is so tanky at this point. They don't even need a minion wave. And now Brewer is just able to pick up Dominic. Michaela is falling, and so is Dave. And it is just a Jover. And Bean just hitting the mid tower. Doesn't decide to fully greed for it, but the top tower is taken. No one gets local gold from it. Honan just getting 50 there, as you can see. Shojin is purchased for the jungler. Cesare is happy to have that one. Now the dragon's coming up. Spectres should just be able to claim this one pretty easily. It looks like we're seeing the Rage Blade come out for the Soraka. That little bit of extra AP is going to be nice. The TP coming out here, and Brewer just annihilating anyone he touches. Soraka accidentally walks into it and is reduced to 20% health. All 5 of the members of Nublus are here. Yasuo is just going to grab the ulti off of the tri-tip strike, or 3-tip strike, one of the two, same thing. Avery running up, does not have that ultimate available to him anymore, so a little bit less engaged than they would have liked. But Caesarius is just soloing the dragon there. Who's going to stop him? Spectres are just trying to end this game as fast as possible. They won out. And Brewer actually in trouble here. Master Yi going for the kill, is able to pick it up 1,000 gold, but he is just immediately going to die off the back of this, and the Yasuo and Xerath are going to clean up everybody else. Triple kill for Avery on the Yasuo. 10-1-5. Going absolutely nuts. And Bean has killed Will. The exhaust coming down onto the Morgana, and Avery's able to just kite out of this, stay alive. The refill pod's getting some work done. One inhib might be down at 19 minutes. Normally, that's not good strategy. When you're this far ahead, it does not matter. You'll be able to apply so much pressure through this that you don't really care about the risk. In a minute until Baron is up, Mike is just running forward here. Isn't really able to get anything done.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Poke coming down, completely blind onto Mike. This control word has been up for so long. Cesarius goes in. And it's just going to pick up the solo. And Avery's able to pick up another kill. 11, 1, and 5. Just doing so much around the map here. And the damage comes down. Yasuo, just shredding, is able to pick up another kill. Double kill for the Yasuo. The Scion ulti is coming through. Can he do the boss? Can he do the boss? I completely missed if he did or not, but he did not. Yi was able to pick up a kill onto the Yasuo and the Cinder. That's a lot of gold into his pocket. This game could have just been interesting. Rageblade is actually just fully picked up. Yi falls down and he just buys basically the entire item off of those 2 kills. And now it is triple inhib. The Scion is here. This Demolish proc is going to hurt like crazy. Yeah, it just takes half the tower in a single auto attack. And then it's now just going to try and run these people down. Cesarius falling down to half. And now Cesarius is just taking pot shots out of his face. Cesarius is actually still alive. The TP from Syndra is going to be up in about 5 seconds, but they're getting chased back out of the base. 42 seconds on Yasuo TP, so they can only get 1 at most. The speed boosts are coming out. They're trying to run him down, but Syndra's coming to this legendary controller that's been up all game. All those abilities kind of going in the same place and all of them missing. This tower is going to fall down, and now the Nexus is going to be starting to be hit at. The question is, does Spectres even care about the Baron, or are they just going to force an end? Syndra can basically just one-shot anything she touches here. And off of the Syndra scatter, Avery is just going to get 1 kill, but gets rooted up very quickly. And is going to die. Scion is coming through. I don't think he can deal any damage to the inhibitor, if I remember how this works correctly. He hit a wall anyway, and the Yi is just going to get 1 pop by the Syndra. Not much he can really do. Scion is tanking up so much here, getting a lot of damage down from Heartsteel. We'll give it a little check. He has dealt... Oh, yeah, actually, we'll let me check. But yeah, that is going to be another game for Spectres. Clean 2-0. They seem to just want to get out of the game at the end there. But well played to both teams. I really like the innovation we were seeing, and shout out on that Soraka pick. Both ADCs across both games I felt like were the standouts for New York Nutbusters. Dave and Mimi both played very solidly. Unfortunately, that is the game that will be eliminating New York Nutbusters from playoff contentions. So congratulations to the 4 teams that did make it, and my condolences to the 2 teams who are eliminated. But yeah, these remaining games do matter for seeding going into the playoffs, so should be pretty interesting closing it out. For MVPs, I do want to shout out, I believe Syndra for the first game, although I may adjust that one, and then I think Avery for the last game. He was just kind of everywhere in fights. But yeah, some deaths coming out as well, but you know, stuff happens. I'll drag in the team captain for the Spectres. Just want to, you know, talk to him a bit, see what's up. Hello, Logan.
Hello.
You actually didn't get MVP for either game, pending me double-checking the first game and seeing who gets it. But I do want to talk to you because the 4 spots in playoffs have been sealed after this series. So it is going to be Spectres Metabusters, Rift Sharks, and Mass Valorant Pirates. They're currently in that order on the standing, but that could change. As of right now, since you guys are sitting in first at 7-1, if nothing changes, you'll have pick of your opponent out of the third and fourth seeds. So assuming that could be any of the other three teams, is there a team that you're most looking forward to playing in the first round of playoffs?
In the first round, I was under the impression that I would have to pick either the third or the fourth place.
Right, but
I
it's
guess.
not decided which of these teams are going to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
in third
yeah,
or fourth yet. I mean,
yeah,
you
yeah,
might
yeah.
not even get first, so this is just a
This
hypothetical.
is true. Um, I think we like playing into Meta Busters quite a bit, so that could be a fun one to pick for the first round.
That could be interesting. Metabusters is actually going to be unable to be fourth, so you wouldn't be the first team to select not the fourth place team to pick the third. Go for the possible extra challenge, but I think that would be spicy. I think it's always exciting. A couple seasons ago, when I made my championship run, we did that exact same thing. We picked the third place team because we thought we had a pretty good matchup into them, and we're a bit scared of the fourth place team. But yeah, I think could be exciting. You have 2 games left. If you're able to win either of them, you actually do lock first place. The only way in which it would be able to be taken from you is some sort of tie shenanigans where either I think Rift Sharks would have to be involved in that at this point.
Yeah,
Previously, you would have been able to lose this game, beat us, lose to MVP, and then if Metabusters won, then that would be a tie between you two that I think they wouldn't win. So if we beat you on Sunday and you lose to MVP, then a lot kind of opens up. There could be a 3-way tie for first. There could be a 2-way tie for first. A lot of things could happen. But are you at all worried? Do you think you just beat MVP, so none of this is even a conversation, or
I think the MVP matchup is interesting. We're excited to play into them again. Though I don't think it's like an immediate win at today and to take a game, but um, we feel pretty comfortable going into the end of the season. We're still practicing as a team and making sure to get games in, but um, yeah, I I think we should be able to beat MVP.
yeah? I mean, the confidence is always good to hear. So I wasn't expecting much of a different answer from that, but glad to hear you guys are still practicing. If you think Avery or Greer would want to hop in to do an interview about either their MVP games, we can go ahead and do that, or we can just call it here
I
too.
I would pick Avery
Okay,
because Avery does the bomb interviews.
okay. I'll get him in here. You can go back to your team.
All right.
All right, Avery. I've been told you give bomb interviews. Is this true?
Wait, I've been scammed. We were in the call picking Ethan, bro. But it's all right. I'll be here. Maybe we'll say something spicy. Who knows?
Okay. You are getting MVP for that second game on the Yasuo.
Oh hell yeah! Thank you.
How how excited were you when you got to lock in that Yasuo? I imagine it's
Well,
pretty fun.
I'm not gonna lie. We were blue side in that game, and so I was really kind of hoping they would drop the Riven ban after I played like Radiant Virtue, Abyssal Mask, almost Ornn. I hope they would drop the Riven ban and like bans like another one of Ethan's picks or something. I really wanted to play Riven. I settled for Yasuo. I'm still upset about it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure I super understand the Riven ban, just because I feel like there are a few pretty good counters to it that Dave does play, but I guess they did just fully commit to sending him in the bot lane. I wasn't super following their draft. It seems like this roster could have possibly not been what they were expecting to play, which complicates things a bit. But
Yeah, I mean,
it's
in our draft plans, they kind of got a wrench thrown in them because we thought it might have been a different roster
yeah,
until it was just about time to play. And then yeah, they're pretty flexible players and they like to play some interesting picks sometimes too. So keeping up with the draft and like trying to figure out what was what in real time was a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, in my head, I saw that being Samira top Twitch ADC. I assume you guys
That's what I thought
probably thought
too.
the same thing. Does Ornn just beat both of them, or what was the logic there?
Well, I assume I don't know what happened there because I think Samira would have been a much greater top laner
I agree.
into
Yeah.
Ornn, especially because you have that lane utilization of the W where you can block the ultimate. So even if my jungler comes to help me, then a big engage part of my kit is just negated.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I haven't played Ornn against Samira either, so I'm not sure how I would have fared.
Gotcha.
But I think Samira would have been a better look. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you looked insane into the Twitch. I think if he had maybe gone AP or gotten a bigger advantage off of that early play, I think there could have been a threat there. Just if he gets Bork early before you're really able to itemize, it could be a threat. But you just got that Sunfire, and it was just kind of GG from there. Really good plays coming out from that Ornn. So was a treat to watch the top lane as always. If you want to go back and watch the cast, I'd like audibly sigh when you lock in the Ornn. I was really excited to see the Aatrox. Yeah, I didn't see the game going like that. I also thought it was going to be into Samira, which I agree. I think that could have made the Ornn matchup a bit harder. But
Yeah, I told him it's been a
yeah,
minute since I played a tank, so just pick me Ornn. I said I don't know how the matchup's gonna go, so just pick me something useful. Because I don't play
that makes
against Samira
sense.
top, so I was like, just pick a useful champion, and it'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Aatrox could have been really fun, but I would not sacrifice anything of that Ornn game. That was super entertaining. I'm glad we got to see that. So I do like officially rescind my disappointment at the pick. So I think there's definitely a meme to be made there if anyone wants to like go back and clip that and then show you like solo killing him a bunch of times. But you know, all right, I'll let you go back to your team. Congratulations
All right,
again. The four
thank you,
playoff
sir.
teams have been finalized. If you were not aware, but we're really getting down to the grind. So should be an exciting rest
Oh
of the
yeah,
season.
yeah. I think we. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to play Sunday. I'm not sure certain 100% on that yet.
Ooh,
I hope I
interesting.
get to,
Yeah, I mean, I'd like
but
to play against you.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I know. I think because of his last, I think we've suffered like a plague of like not exactly having our full starting roster each time we've played.
yeah, I think you had it last time, but we didn't. So I think it's gonna be the reverse, or something
Potentially,
next
I don't
time.
know how it's gonna
Yeah, we'll
shake
see.
out yet,
All
but
right.
yeah, I look forward to meeting you in our next game, and we're just finishing up this season, getting into playoffs.
Yep, same here. Thanks for hopping on. It was nice having you. All right.
GG's, have a good
Yep,
night.
GG's. Thanks everyone for watching. We're gonna cut it off here. Good night.